Hi team, I just wanted to share a video about how I invite people to my challenge group. And in this case, I am inviting to the 21-day kick and to my first test group. So I'm going to go through start to finish of how I have been inviting and then how I close. First of all, like we all do, I start with a Facebook post, and the post just talks about needing to learn how to do portions, wanting to be able to have all your workouts planned, etc., etc. I actually copy and pasted word for word another coach, and it worked great. I just copy and pasted, and there it was. So from there, you get people that are interested, and I immediately private messaged each and every person individually, and all I said was, "Hey Christy, I'm so glad that you are interested in my test group. Do you have a minute to talk today?" That's all I said, and then I waited for a response. So after that, either I would get a response back with, "Yes, I can talk at 4 o'clock today," or "I can't talk today, but I can talk Wednesday at 2. So we would set up an appointment at that time. Some people, I got a message back from them saying, "I don't have any time to talk on the phone, but could you email me the information?" And I would reply back with, "I could email you the information, but I'd really like to talk over the phone. Do you have just 10 minutes to do a quick chat? I would love to hear your goals." That's all I would say. So I would either get a message back, "Yes, I can talk tomorrow," or I wouldn't get anything. So with those people, I just left it alone, and I worked with the people who seemed really interested and took it seriously. So after that, I would set up an appointment with them, and I made sure to make an appointment when I knew that I would not be distracted. So I have little kids, so I made sure either my husband was going to be home, or I actually got a babysitter for a couple hours and did a ton of calls out within like 3 hours. And you just want to make sure that you're not distracted when you're doing those so that you can really listen to the goals of the person you're talking to. So set up the appointment, make sure that you're on time with the phone call, and make sure that it's quiet again, okay? So I would get on the phone call, and this is how it would go. I would call them, and I would just say, "Hey Christy, this is Megan Howard, how are you?" And I would let her talk. And then, actually, a couple of minutes before my call, I would look at their Facebook and just see what they're doing so that I had something to talk to them about. So I'd ask about their kids, or I would ask about the vacation that they just went on, something like that, so that we had common ground. So probably the first 5 minutes was just talking. If it was an old friend, we talked about old stuff. If it was somebody that I didn't even know whatsoever, I went off of their Facebook and what they were talking about. So after that, I would say, "Well, that's awesome, Christy. I just wanted to thank you for being interested in the test group. If you don't mind me asking, what got you interested in it?" And this is where they'll explain their story. So they'll explain why they got interested, and my TV just went off. Hold on. Bad example. Don't ever do that when you're on a phone call with somebody. Oh my gosh. I'm back. Sorry. So after that, they tell you their goals and their story, why they got interested. Either they need help with portions, they need to get on exercise, they're fed up with the way they look, blah 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 blah. So as they're talking, I'm writing things down. I'm writing notes about their personal stories, about their family, what they told me about themselves, anything that I need to remember about this person to help them better um, through this whole thing. So they talk. Sometimes I ask questions like, "Do you have a harder time with fitness?" Or "Do you feel like you have a harder time with the nutrition?" I listen for things like I'm a busy mom, I'm a full-time student, I eat out a lot. I ask them a lot of times if they eat often throughout the day, those kind of things. So after they're done talking to me, and after I'm done asking some questions, then I say, well, thank you so much for telling me about that, Christy. I would like to tell you about my 21-day test group. I actually, after hearing what you said, think that you would be a great person to have in this test group. I think that this would be an awesome program for you. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So what this is it's a 21-day portion control and exercise group, all right? So what I'll talk about the portion control a little bit. You get 6 containers, blah, blah, blah. I talk about the portion control, how you get 6 containers. I talk about the food group. I talk about how there's no off-limit foods. I talk about how there's no weighing, there's no measuring out your food, there's no counting calories, all that. And then I go into the exercise part of it. And I actually would bring up stuff like, I know that you're a busy mom, so these would work great for you. They're only 30 minutes a day, 7 days a week, and and so I would talk to them about that, let them know that there's one for every day, and they're all different. So one's lower body, one's upper body. So I would tell them a little bit about that. Then I would talk about the accountability group and what that offers. And I think this is really important because you can get a fitness program anywhere, but what you don't get is the accountability from a coach. So what I would say is, and then as far as my accountability group goes, I am here for the 21 days to motivate you. I know your goals now, so I'm going to hold you to those. I'm going to push you as hard as you want to be pushed. I'm going to keep you accountable. Every day you will be checking in with me either by our private Facebook group or by text or by phone call. I want to use what will work for you. So if we need to set up private phone calls once a week, we will do that, whatever works for you. We'll have daily check-ins, so I'll be asking you how you did with your portions, how you did with your fitness, and how you did overall, and if you have any questions. So in that group, the more you put into it is the more you'll get out of it. You'll meet ladies in there that are at the same level as you. You'll be motivated, you'll be encouraged, but you need to stay engaged. If you stay engaged through this whole 21 days, you will see so much success, and I know that you will reach your goals. So I cater towards what they need to hear. So if they need to hear more about portion control, I talk to them more about portion control. So it's really all about listening to the person you're talking to. After that, I say, well, do you have any questions so far? And they'll either ask. So usually this is the time where they say, how much is it? And this is where I say, well, you know what? I'm actually going to send you over an application and you can look over everything. Most of it, you'll see the stuff that we talked about, and then you'll have 3 options to choose from. And you can decide which one you want to do. So I don't even talk about price. Usually the ladies are like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. I'm so excited. When do you choose the people you're going to work with? That kind of thing. So I send over this, and I use SurveyMonkey, and I send over this application, and at the bottom I give them the 3 options to choose from. Most of the time I get a message back with what are the differences between them, and that's when I tell them the differences. And I always start with the challenge pack of how great that is. Sometimes I talk about Shakeology while on the phone call. Sometimes I don't. It just depends on where the conversation goes. Usually they want the best program because they want to be the most successful. So I haven't had much conversation about the Shakeology. When they ask me what it is, I'll tell them, it's not a magic weight loss shake. It gives you all your vitamins, your nutrients, your superfoods that help your body work the way it's supposed to, and in turn you lose weight, you feel more energized, and you get more out of the 21 days. And they're like, okay, we're getting it. So that's how I do it, and then I thank them so much. As soon as I get off the phone, I send them a message saying, it was so great to talk to you. Here's the application. Get it back to me as soon as possible so I can get your information. That's it. And then we went from there. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I know was a long video, but that is how I did it. Again, just being more professional. I watched a video that talked about how amateurs in business stay behind the computer. And if you want to grow in your business, you've got to get on the phone, you've got to get in front of people. And that really changed my thinking, and it helped. I've done the best this month, and it's only the 7th. So I hope this helps. We'll talk to you later.